Hello and welcome to MusiCity Kids. My name is Tamara with Love in a Big World, and we are so glad that you're with us today. At MusiCity Kids, our job is to help you grow strong in mind, body, and heart. Today, we're talking about kindness. Kindness is treating others the way you want to be treated. And yes, I know we talked about kindness on the last show too, but there's so much to this and it makes such a big difference in our world. We have to talk about it more. So here's what we're going to focus on today. Did you know that when you and I choose kindness, we can make a positive difference in the lives of others? That's right. You could change someone's life just like a superhero. Yes, you can be a superhero as you choose to be kind. We're going to talk about this more today. First up, we've got Dr. JPOP, so get up and get moving.
Hey everybody. So something that I've noticed since quarantine is I've been sitting a lot more than usual. Usually I'm up and I'm moving and I'm working with kids, but because most of my work has been on a computer, I've been sitting a lot. And so I noticed that my back starts to get tired and I slunch over and my neck starts to hurt and get tight. And I realized I'm not taking as many breaks as I should. Did you know that if you're sitting for more than 30 minutes, you should get up and at least let your body move around and give it some love? So I'm going to show you a couple simple stretches that you can do every 30 minutes so that you can give your body a little bit of movement, okay? So the first thing you're going to do is just stand up. You're going to shake it out. Shake your arms, shake your body. Then I want you to put your arms all the way up toward the ceiling. And you're going to reach down and touch your toes. And then you're going to come back up. And you're going to reach to the side. And then you're going to go to the other side. Awesome. Then I want you to go up. And you're going to reach back. Awesome. And because you've been sitting and your arms and shoulders are probably forward, I want you to take your head and you're going to just sit to one side. And for all of these, you can at least count to 10. And then you're going to go to the other side. And then you can do some circles. Awesome. Okay, now I want you to take your arms. Now I want you to take one arm and go right across. Grab your elbow and hug and squeeze and count to 10. Awesome. Then you're going to take the other arm, wrap it around your shoulder, grab that elbow, hug and squeeze. Then you're going to shake it out again, and then you can sit back down and continue with your work. So remember, every 30 minutes, if you're sitting and watching TV or playing your video games or doing work, every 30 minutes you need to get up and do a little movement, okay? Back to you, Tamara.
Thanks so much, Dr. JPOP. It's always good to get moving with you. Next, we've got Steve and Living Maths all the way from South Africa. So get ready to use your brain.
Hey Tamara, it's Steve again, and I want to talk to you about math and kindness. What does math have to do with kindness? Well, I'm going to show you a little example that will take a while for you to understand, but then you will see the connection. I have a piece of paper over here, and I want to challenge you. Can you fold a piece of paper in half 10 times? I'll let you try that on your own, but I'm going to give it a go. I take my piece of paper, I fold it once, I fold it twice, I fold it 3 times, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can only get 7. Why can't I get 10? Well, there are 2 obvious reasons. Number 1, the paper is getting thicker. And of course, number 2, it's getting smaller, which makes really, really difficult to fold. So here's the thing. Let's pretend I didn't do the folding, and all I did was I took a laser beam. I take my piece of paper and I slice my piece of paper in half and put that part on top of the first part. I slice it again and I put that part on top of the other part. And I continue to do that 50 times. How high do you think your pile of paper will be? This high? This high? Maybe as high as you are. Actually, hold on to your seats. It's going to be from here to the sun. What? How can it be from here to the sun? Well, if you were able to take 2 times 2 times 2, 50 times on a calculator, and you're going to need a fancy calculator to do that, you then have to multiply that by the thickness of one piece of paper. How do we do that? We get 100 sheets, we measure it, and divide your answer by 100, and you'll get the thickness of one piece of paper. You multiply that by the very large number you have on your calculator, and it'll be equivalent to the distance from here to the sun. What has that got to do with kindness? Well, have a look. Right now we have one piece of paper. When you folded it the first time, it was now 2 sheets. When you fold it again, it became 4 sheets, then 8 sheets, then 16 sheets, then 32 sheets. In fact, that is what we call exponential growth. So why am I telling you this? Can you imagine if you could pass on kindness to 2 people, and each of them pass on kindness to 2 people, and each of them pass on kindness to 2 people? It would go from 1 person to 2 to 4 to 8 to 16, and in several amounts of time, it could be several 100,000 or even million. I hope that you think about that during these difficult times. Back to you, Tamara.
Yes, Steve, we can make an exponential difference in the lives of others. Are you ready? I am, because I don't know about you, but I can see that our world needs a whole lot more kindness. All right, so my friend Truth has got a song for us. Let's let our light shine.
It's the finals, it's the last round. Everyone's watching, do or die. Firefly, whatever you do, make it count. Time for the lights to go down. Close your eyes, feel the sound. This one's for us. This is our time, this is our night. We'll fight the fight. This one's for us. We won't back down, we won't give up. We've had enough. This one's for us, 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 us. Take the first step, then the next breath. Dreams are just that beginning. Prove it to yourself. Sink or swim. Life is worth living. Time for the lights to go down. Close your eyes. Feel the sound. This one's for us. This is our time. This is our night. We'll fight the fight. This one's for us. We won't back down. We won't give up. Enough is enough. This one's for us. Us, 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 us. If we fail, we tried. If we win, we survive. This time
Thanks, Truth. So have you ever heard of Jane Addams? Well, I want you to check out the book, The House That Jane Built. It's the story about Jane Addams by Tanya Lee Stone. So Jane Addams built a house in Chicago because she saw the need to help kids enjoy their childhood instead of work. Could you imagine working at the age of 6, 7, or 8? Jane couldn't either. So she built a very special place called Hull House that was a safe place for kids and their families to learn and play and grow. She also founded the first daycare so that kids had a safe place to be while their parents were at work. She also built the first playground here in our country. Can you imagine that? Her kindness has changed her community and our entire world. So I want you to think about Jane's big idea of making a safe place for kids and some of her other accomplishments too. What are some things that you can do to show kindness in your world? How can you help others? That's what it's all about. Next, there's something special from our friends at Oceans Aquarium, also in South Africa. Take a look.
Hi everybody, so today I want to tell you about our stingrays, and you can see we've got a few of them behind me over here. Stingrays are actually part of the shark family, so they all come from what we call cartilaginous fish, okay? And that's because they don't have true skeletons, so they don't have bones like you and me. Instead, their skeletons are made up of cartilage. Now we also have cartilage as humans, that's our ears and our noses, okay? So with our stingrays that you see swimming around here, we have 3 stingray species. There's a variety of stingrays you find off the South African coast. Here at the aquarium, we've got short-tail stingrays, and they're one of the largest stingray species. Our male over here that I'll point out when he comes around can get to about 2 meters. So from one side of his wing to the other will be about 2 meters in length, and from his top of his snout right through to his tail, he'll get to about 4 meters. You can see him now just in the background over there, but I'm sure he'll come over. Another stingray species we have here is our eagle rays, and they're quite different. They actually are open water stingray species, so they don't like to sit too much on the exhibit or the ocean floor. And then we also have a honeycomb stingray, and she's got a beautiful pattern on her back, and that's because that species actually comes from our tropical waters. So she has this really cool camouflage on her back that she uses to blend in with the coral reefs. Now, stingray species, they actually have a barb on their tail, and that barb is used for defense. So we don't have to be too worried about it, because they'll only really use it if they feel extremely threatened or cornered. So here at the aquarium, we never corner them, and when we feed them, we're working with them really, really carefully. Our stingrays, their mouth is on the underside of their body, and their gills are also on the underside of the ear. So they have 5 lines, and that's how they're able to breathe. So they pull water through what we call spiracles, which are these 2 holes on the side of their head, and then they flush the water up over their gills, and that's how they get oxygen, and that's how they're able to breathe on the water.
Thank you so much to Oceans Aquarium. I love that. And I was trying to snap a picture of the stingrays because they're so fascinating. All right. Do you know why it's so important for us to learn about the animals? Because it's our job to be kind to them. And when we have a better understanding of the great gift that they are to our world, then we're more likely to take care of them better. It's all part of our job. We're the humans. We need to take care of the animals and the planet. We're all in this together. All right, next, we've got something from Dr. E.
Hey, Tamara and friends. Well, today I have a story that I'd like to tell you. And this story is a story that's thousands of years old. And in fact, this particular story is what's called a parable. A parable is a story that has a much deeper meaning than just on the surface of the story. And this particular parable is about a man who went on a trip. And when he went on this trip, he ended up being robbed and beaten and left on the roadside for dead. And as he was hurt and injured on the roadside, there came along a man who saw him and saw that he was hurt and injured. And when he saw him, this man decided that he had more important things to do, and he really didn't have time to stop and help this gentleman. And so he decided to keep going, even though this man was hurt and injured. Well, then another man came along and saw that this same man had been hurt and injured and was in need of help. And when he saw him, he decided rather than stop that he was going to pass to the other side of the road and keep going. And in fact, that's what he did. But then there was this last man. This last man, when he saw the man had been hurt and injured and was laying along the roadside, he felt something inside for this man. He felt sympathy and he felt sorry for the man, and he decided that he could not pass him by, but that in fact he had to stop and help him. So in fact, that's what he did. He stopped and he attended to the man's injuries and he bandaged them up, and he even put the man on his own animal and took him to some place where he could be provided the care that he needed. And this man was even willing to pay for the man's care to make sure that he had exactly what he needed so that he could be made healthy and whole. And so why is that an important story? It's an important story because there are going to be times when we have the opportunity to help somebody, that we're going to have the opportunity to help somebody in need, and that when those opportunities present themselves, they may be people for which we share nothing in common. But nevertheless, there should be something inside of each one of us that makes us feel something for somebody else. That there should be something inside of us that says, if we can stop and do something for somebody else, we can stop and do that because we would want somebody to stop and do that for us. And that's really what kindness is all about. Doing for others what you would want somebody to do for you. And so this week and for the years to come, I want us to practice the idea of kindness, doing something for others because it's the right thing to do. And when you stop to share kindness and you're doing something for somebody else that you would want somebody else to do for you, not only is that the golden rule, but that's helping to spread love in a big world. And so until next time, remember, kindness comes from doing unto others as you would have them do unto you. So take care, and I'll see you later.
Thanks, Dr. E. Friends, did you know that kindness actually has health benefits for our bodies and our brains? Yes, that's right. When we witness or perform acts of kindness, it releases natural hormone oxytocin, otherwise known as the love hormone. And that helps lower our blood pressure, and it also improves our overall heart health. Not only that, but it can help us deal with anxiety and shyness. So when you're kind, it helps your body and your brain, and it also helps those who are experiencing your kindness to become healthy in their bodies and their brains too. Isn't that amazing? That information comes from Dartmouth and the research that they've done. So these are good facts for us to keep in mind. All right, next we've got something fun from Love in a Big World.
Sometimes a smile is a gift. A helping hand is a lifesaver. And choosing words that build can change a person's world. It's the move you make that benefits. The choice you make that prods connection. It's what is needed. Sometimes it's sharing a meal. Helping others when they fall. It's considering another's needs. See, in this world, we all need it. This place can be tough and days can be hard. Sometimes it's a listening ear, an encouraging word, silence and presence. Cause life comes at you hard. Sometimes it's a small act, a grand gesture, or an action that pushes someone to keep going through the day. It's what we need in this world. The gift we can give one to another. Kindness.
Love that. Thank you so much, Terrence. So I've got a challenge for you, friends. I would love to hear your spoken word videos on kindness. I know some of our friends at Nashville Classical Charter School are working on their own spoken word pieces that hopefully we'll get to share with you at some point this school year. But I would love for you to write your own poem, perform it, and then share it on our social media. It'd be awesome. All of us can be kind. All right, next, we've got Miss Lawanna.
Hey everybody, welcome to my home again. It's good to see you. I've got another great art project for us today, and this time I'm using something, again, really inexpensive, painter's tape. Now this you can buy at any dollar store, any paint shop, but really it's super inexpensive, and it's a lot of it, as you can see. And the reason I like this tape is because of the way it tears. As you can see, it tears really jagged and rough, and that is going to create us some really interesting lines and shapes on our painting today. And we're just going to use some basic canvas. These come in a pack. You can get these for like $4 or $5 in a pack at a dollar store, art store, anything like that. Or you can just use, if you have construction paper, it'll work on construction paper. This tape is really good on construction paper because it peels off without tearing your paper. Okay, so something solid like construction paper or canvas like mine is going to be perfect. And let's get into it, okay? All right, so we're starting with some stripes. I'm going to paint several different colored stripes across the canvas, kind of overlap them, but you can kind of play with this the way you want. Once you see where I'm going with this project, you'll probably be able to guess what I'm going for here, what look I'm trying to get. And you can give it a try on your own and see what you can come up with. So I'm going to let these stripes dry before I start adding my tape on top. And the tape, I'm trying to figure out, what sections of the canvas I want to tape off. I have quite a bit of tape on here because I was undecided, but it's kind of coming to me as I go. And so I'm going to fill in some of these areas with a darker color, some darker browns and black, and let that dry. And once it dries, I'll pull the tape away, and it's going to be a super cool effect. Tell me what you think you're looking at when I start pulling the tape away. That's right. It's like a sunset. It's like it's got heels on the side, and isn't that cool? Back to you, Tamara.
Lawanna, I love that. You were right. It was like a sunset, and I never thought of using painter's tape on my canvas to get that kind of effect. So thanks for that tip. All right, next we've got some history moments with Miss CJ.
Hi guys, it's Miss CJ and welcome back to Miss CJ's class. I'm so happy you're here with me. Today we're going to be talking about cooperation. And what do you think that word means? Does it mean working together? Does it mean cooperating to form something better? Take a look at these two guys behind me. His name is James Robertson. This guy's name is John Donaldson. These two were two of the founding fathers of this beautiful city we live in right here in Nashville. That's right. Let's read it a little bit. On Monday, April 24th, 1780, two pioneers, and I want you to look that word up. Tell me what the word pioneer means to you. To me, pioneer means someone going out and forging on a new frontier. No matter what dangers lie ahead, they are going out and they are trekking it. They're just walking and they're saying, hey, you know what? I think I want to make my home here. No matter if it's cold or if it's hot, they're going to do it. So you tell me what pioneer means to you. James Robertson and John Donaldson shook hands upon the completion of a reunion at the site on which we now stand. Each man, one by land, the other by water, played out his part in a twofold plan on a new settlement that grew into present-day Nashville. Can you believe that? Nashville was just this, wasn't even really a state, wasn't even really a colony. And that's what we're going to be talking about in the next thing. Exactly, what is a colony? Well, these men right here forged this whole new idea that, guess what? We come from over the water. We come from over land. We want to form a better community. And how do we do that? By shaking hands, by cooperating. It's pretty cool, huh? Tell me, how do you cooperate with your friends? Is it something that you do on a daily basis? When you have arguments, do you just fuss and just say, you know what, you're not my friend anymore and I don't want to be your friend, goodbye? Or do you sit back and think about, what can I do to make this better between me and my friend? How can I learn to cooperate and understand his or her feelings? And how can I be a better listener to him or her? Those are some things that I want you to think about. So in the next video, we're going to be talking about 2 different words, colony and pioneer. I'll see you in the next video, guys.
Thanks, Miss CJ. And yes, when we cooperate with our friends, we're showing kindness. Kindness is treating others the way we want to be treated. So here's a closing thought. Spread love everywhere you go. Let no one ever come to you without leaving happier. That's a word of wisdom from Mother Teresa. Thanks again for tuning in to Music City Kids. We're committed to helping you grow strong in mind, body, and heart. We love you. Make it a great day. We'll see you next time.